they like to wait on men to love themselves. Why you gotta wait on a man to love yourself? Once you realize that everybody's shit stinks, oh baby, my love come with conditions. Do you love doing the things that you do for him when you do it, or is it for his satisfaction? Oh, I love it. I love it. You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another, I almost said story time, y'all. Your girl is back again with another girl chat. If you know my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything because you know what's up. I know what's up. We know what's up. And that's on what? That's on period. And Mary Had a Little Lamb. As y'all can see by the title and the thumbnail, in today's video, we're going to be discussing how I am prepping and preparing to be a wife, y'all. Your girl is a whole fiance out here. And I really just want to talk to y'all about how I'm becoming a wife. And I've honestly started these things about a year ago. I was preparing myself for this. So I kind of just want to get a little vulnerable with y'all and tell y'all some of the things that I'm doing. I'll probably be giving y'all tips throughout this girl chat. But yeah, before we do that, y'all, the products, the Danessa Myrick products came in the mail today. I have the skin tint and the glow serum, so that's what we're gonna be trying today as well. The girlies over on TikTok been talking about these products, and I finally got my fingers on them. This video is not sponsored. I truly just, I really love what she's doing, and I wanted to try these products. So before we do it, I do want to give a little close up so y'all can see what my face is giving. Am I able to zoom? Hold on. I guess I'm gonna have to manually zoom in so y'all can see what's going on. I do not have any, I have brow gel on, but I do not have any makeup on my skin. Y'all, this is my natural skin. I have pigmentation. I have pores, so I really want to see what it's giving, because a lot of girls on TikTok, they be doing these reviews and they be having glass skin. It's just like, how you reviewing a product with good skin? How you showing us your skin routine when your skin was never raggedy? Like, how y'all do that? This is coming from a girl with real pores. I know y'all see this is the dark spot. So I'm just going to be talking. If y'all see me looking over here, that's because I got my makeup products over there. So I'm going to do my makeup and just talk to y'all. So the first thing I've been doing is getting to know myself, y'all. I feel like you build a healthy relationship by knowing yourself. When you build your confidence up and you build your self-love, no one can stop you. I feel like the key to a healthy relationship is you really loving yourself and knowing yourself. A lot of people, they don't know themselves. They don't know their values. Before I got into this relationship, I already clarified with myself, what are my values? Like, what inspires me? What do I believe in? And I'm not talking about what you like to eat. I'm not talking about what's your favorite color. That's surface level. I'm talking about what makes you wake up in the morning. Like, what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? A lot of people don't really know themselves. And I feel like that's why a relationship fails. Like, you don't even know your non-negotiables. Like, how are you expecting somebody else to love you when you don't even love you? What are your triggers? What do you like? What do you dislike? And it's very important to set non-negotiables. Before I ever even met my fiance, y'all already knew what I wouldn't stand for. Like, I've always told myself I would never be with a man that puts his hands on me. I would never be with a man that yells at me. I would never be with a man that cheats on me. And it's not because I'm above that and a man can't cheat on me. A man can't put his hands on me, but I'm saying I wouldn't be with him. You can put your hands on me. You can cheat on me. You can talk down on me. But after that, what I determine what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be with you after that. So I think before you, well, let me just speak for me, y'all. Me prepping for marriage, I had to know what I would accept and what I wouldn't accept, because this is not just, we got vows. This is a lifelong journey. So I feel like before we get into this situation, I have to really know what I stand on, what my negotiables are, what makes me happy, what inspires me. Like, do I love myself? That's why a lot of times when people get into relationships, they never had any self-love for themselves. So they literally stand for anything. I would say during this process of me trying to prepare myself to be a wife, I really had to learn what my triggers were, y'all. I had to learn what I didn't like, what would set me off, what I had grace with. And I honestly think it really helped in my relationship with my fiance. I feel like prior to him, I would have triggers, but I wouldn't know that they were triggers. So I would be in relationship with men and they would do certain things and I wouldn't even know. Like, I'm like, why am I mad at this? I shouldn't be mad at this, but I didn't realize that something in my past had triggered me to be mad at this. So I had to really learn who I was, what I didn't like, what were my triggers. I had to really do the inner work. Y'all, this is the first layer. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing double layers with the skin. I think this is the glow serum. Definitely got the glow. Definitely can see the glow. This is also supposed to be a primer, so I don't know. I really like the way this feels on my skin. I will say this right here was kind of expensive. I want to say I got this on sale, but I think the price of this is $38. And I can see me going crazy and using a whole bunch of this. So the fact that the bottle was kind of skimpy and I can see me going in on this for $38, that's a bit much for a makeup product, y'all. I want to move into the next thing that I'm doing. I am healing my past wounds, and this is one of the hardest things for me to work on, y'all, because I haven't always been in a healthy relationship. I've been in relationships that were toxic, but I didn't even know that they were toxic until I did the deeper work. And I'm not just talking about with relationships and heartbreaks. I'm talking about family trauma, friend trauma, financial trauma. You really have to dig deep and figure out, why am I like this? Like, you have to really sit down with yourself and figure that out, because if you don't, it's going to affect your relationship. Like, for example, not to get too personal on here, but in my past relationship, y'all, I didn't even realize that I had insecurities. I know we all have insecurities. I'm not an insecure person. I think very highly of myself, but I was insecure my other women, and I didn't realize that I was insecure about that until I got out of a toxic relationship, until I got in a healthy relationship, and I saw how he did things and how he felt about things. Like, I'm in a relationship with a man that is around women 90% of the time, y'all. 90% of his clients is women. I had to heal. I had to do some deep healing to be comfortable with that. Even when I first started my business, my fiance was my business partner. 90% of people that go on Travel Babes trips, well, honestly, y'all, 100% of the people that go on Travel Babes trips, they are women. I had to be comfortable with my man around other women, and I wouldn't have been able to be comfortable until I did the deeper work. I had to think, why am I always so angry and mad when somebody's writing my man or around my man, like with past situations? That's because they didn't make me feel secure in that way, and it caught the insecurity in me. But I had to do the deeper work. Like, you will be in a healthy relationship and you will think your relationship is boring because nothing is going on. But that's just healthy. When you're in toxic relationships, something is always going on. Somebody's always blowing up his phone. You always worrying. You always digging. Like, you know what I mean, y'all? You really have to heal your past traumas, even with family and friends and just past heartbreaks, or you're always going to revert back to your old ways if you don't heal your past trauma. This one was a big one because I kind of healed my past traumas while I was getting into this relationship with my fiance, and he allowed me the grace to do that. So I thank God for that. But that is something that's big, that's helping me prepare to be a wife. Because I'm not going to say I don't have trauma anymore. I do. But I want to say I'm able to talk about it without any projecting. Let me say that. I'm able to talk about it without projecting on him. Like, I can give an opinion and be like, hey, this is where this stemmed from. Why? Because I dig deep and I did the inner work, and I know why I feel the way that I feel. But I had to do the inner work. Therapy. I haven't done therapy in a while, but I definitely did self-therapy with journaling, just talking to God. I had to do all of that to get to this point where I can just be in a healthy relationship. But the third thing that I'm doing to prepare myself to become a better wife is deepening my communication skills. This has been the biggest one. I'm not gonna lie. This one right here is a struggle. Learning how to express yourself without projecting on people and getting your emotions involved is a skill a lot of people do not have, but that's something that I'm learning to work on. A lot of times in previous relationships, I would expect people to just know why I'm mad. Like, I can be mad about something and I would be quiet. I didn't want to express myself, but I had to learn how to communicate and express myself clearly. That's one of the biggest reasons why people get divorced, because they don't know how to talk. A lot of things could be worked out, but people simply just do not know how to talk. They do the silent treatment. They do the nitpicking. Oh, the grudges. I don't do that anymore. I communicate. When I feel a certain way, hey, fiance, I'm feeling like this about this. This is why I've been feeling this. No, this is how long I've been feeling. There's no resentment. There's no build up. I really sat and started to learn how to communicate. And another thing, listen to understand and not to respond. That was something big I had to work on at the beginning of my relationship. And what helped me with that is my fiance, he would always ask me questions like, he would be like, Asia, what did I say? And I wouldn't be able to repeat back what he said. Why? Because I was listening to respond. I wasn't listening to really understand where he was coming from. And now we've got to the point where we'll have a discourse about something and I'll be able to repeat back what he's saying. And then he'll be like, Asia, we're literally saying the same thing in a different way. We wouldn't have been able to get to this point if we both didn't deepen our communication. So having clear communication and just, man, just being able to express yourself, y'all. Us as women, we a little cuckoo. We be expecting them to know everything without saying a word. Open up your mouth, express yourself. This has been one of the biggest things that's been helping me prepare to be a wife and just an overall better person, y'all. Now, let me go ahead and put this on here. Okay, so it's a perfect match for my forehead, but right here, y'all, it's a little too dark, but summer is coming up and I do not mind being a very chocolate girl. I don't mind being chocolate. So I think I'm gonna let this slide because it might also help. Like down here, I'm dark. I'm dark right here. I'm dark right here, and I'm lighter. I'm lighter in here. So I'm gonna put that on there and just rub it in. Another thing I want to touch on, a part of communicating is being able to take criticism. A lot of people do not know how to take criticism. People will tell you certain things and you'll get mad or you cussing and like you don't want to be receptive of what somebody is saying. A big part of communicating is being receptive to what people are saying and being able to take criticism with grace and being positive. Like there's no time in my relationship where I'm mad at something that my fiance said and I'm like, F you, because no, we actually have a safe word. I don't really use it much, but we have a safe word where if we do not want to talk or we can't talk without being cordial and being graceful to each other, he has the right to say that safe word. I have the right to say that safe word. Why? Because we should never go there. I feel like when you love somebody, it should be y'all against the argument, not y'all against each other. So I honestly just feel like walk away from conversations if you feel like it gets heated to the point where you can't say anything nicely. But with me deepening my communication skills, I'm able to get to the point where I'm able to disagree with him, but it doesn't end with F yous, I hate you. We end things very gracefully. I feel like you should be able to disagree with love and respect. Everything shouldn't be like, I don't know, everything shouldn't end on we not talking or you're a block. You should be able to get through things. And that used to be me, y'all. In the past, ooh, a ninja made me mad. Block, deleted, you don't exist. Like, but now, baby, you made me mad. Let's kiss it out. Like, we gonna argue, we gonna have discourse, but let's mwah, mwah, mwah. Let's literally just kiss it out. Like, I don't know. I feel like once you have the mindset of it's us against the argument, not us against each other, because it may feel like that sometimes, but once you put that in the forefront of your mind, it makes communication so much better. You understand everybody don't have a partner that shows them grace, so it may take time, but that's honestly, this is literally the biggest thing. Learning how to communicate and just listen. That's my hardest thing, but that's one that's really, I don't know, y'all. It's really saving me in this process of transitioning from a girlfriend to a fiance to a wife. Okay? Y'all, my camera died, but I'm back. The last thing I was saying is I had to learn how to cultivate softness and move into my feminine energy. And this is hard for me, y'all, because I love to depend on a man. I love a man to lead, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very dominant. Like, you could be a leader in my relationship, but I'm very stuck in my ways. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I just mean I'm like a pioneer of my life. I know what's best for me, or at least I feel like I know what's best for me. But as a woman, we have to understand that being feminine doesn't mean soft. Well, it does mean softness. I would say being feminine doesn't mean that you lack control. There's nothing wrong with letting a man lead you and resting in your femininity. A lot of times us as women, we move very masculine. We don't even realize it. We just move masculine. And I feel like with the right type of man, you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to rest with being soft and feminine and letting your man have like their strength and your man leading you and you resting in your softness. And it's so funny because my man, he doesn't even realize it, y'all, but a lot of times when we're out in public and we're walking together and he'd be like, Asia, your coronation is bad. And I'd be like, my coronation is bad, but also when I'm around you, I don't have to pay attention where I'm going. I'm letting you lead me. I'm walking with you and I'm just talking aimlessly. He like, Asia, what side of town are we in? I don't know. I was looking at you. You should know where we at. Like, I love resting in my feminine energy. And I honestly think me learning to cultivate softness has helped me, or it's helping me transition into a wife, because I'm very hard. Like, my mom tells me all the time. She'd be like, oh yeah, y'all. I guess this kind of dried out just a little bit, so I want to go ahead and move in with the brush. As y'all can see, it is darker than my skin tone, but we can make it work for the summer when I get my little summer tan. I love the way this feels. I like how it has this natural shine coming from a person that gets very ashy. I be getting so ashy when I put on my foundation and my setting powder. So this right here, Danessa, if you see this right here is tea, y'all. A little expensive, but I can say this is definitely worth it. Don't know about the skin glow yet because it doesn't really cover any of my blemishes, but so far, baby, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I like this. But yeah, us as women, sometimes we're in survival mode because we single women, but we don't always have to be that way. You can let a man lead. You can rest in your femininity with the right men. So that's something that I'm doing. The last thing I would say, which I already had this since a young girl, my mom has always told me that she loved how confident I was. So I would say, build a life that you love first. This is the last one, and this is something that my fiance loves about me, because y'all know I'm gonna do a solo trip. I'm gonna do stuff by myself with or without a man. Like, I even told my man at one point, I'm solo dating. Like, we in a relationship, you at work, I don't got no job, so I'm gonna go out to eat, and I'll see you when I get back, or I'll see you when you get off work. I feel like you have to build a life that you love first, because a lot of women, they like to wait on men to buy houses. They like to wait on men to go out and eat. They like to wait on men to love themselves. Why you gotta wait on a man to love yourself? You don't. You should already love yourself before a man come. A man's love, it should be an addition to the love that you already have for yourself. And a lot of people, they don't do that. They literally do not think like that, y'all. They wait into marriage to travel, to grow, and to thrive. And it's like, why are you waiting for a man? You need to already be doing that before that man comes. So if that man leaves, he's not your everything. And I think that's something that has really helped my relationship, because my fiance know I'm here, you mine, we lock in. But at the same time, he knows that I'm very independent and I love the life that I created for myself. So he knows that he has to be able to add to it. I can't be with a man that's stagnant. And I think that's going to help our marriage. I've had this one in me. Like, I've already built a life that I love for myself prior to meeting him. Just, if you're watching this and you have not found your person yet, or you're not satisfied, because I feel like no one should be like content with their life. I'm not content. I can always have more. I can always strive to do better, which I do. But I'm okay. Like, I didn't hate my life before I met him. A lot of people hate their current situation. They find the love of their life and they feel like, oh, this person is going to take me out of this situation. And then you end up in a toxic relationship because you should have already had that figured out before he came. Y'all can figure out certain things together. But as a woman, I think you should already create a life that you love for yourself. When people meet men and they're in a worst predicament ever, they see that you was in a low predicament and they coming along and they thinking like, I can give you the bare minimum. This is better than what your ex gave you, because you didn't have anything for yourself, if that makes sense, y'all. But hold on, let me blend this because I'm doing a little bit too much talking. Something that helped me do this, because I know y'all thinking like, Asia, how do you get to the point where you build a life that you love? And I would say, just start, honestly. Like, don't wait on people when it comes to certain things. Like, prior to my fiance, I think, what do I used to do? I had no choice but to do things solo, y'all. So I would force myself. I would be very uncomfortable, but I would force myself to get out and to do things by myself. And even while I'm in a relationship, I still like my independency. Like, I still go out and do things by myself. I don't need to do everything with my fiance. Like I said, y'all, he works a lot and I have a more flexible schedule. So my life would be, I don't even know what my life would be if I waited on a man to do the things that I love, and also, goes back to the first thing that I said. Know what you like, because a lot of women, they don't have any goals or aspirations. So when they get a man, they make their whole world about the man. And then when it don't work out, they feel like their whole world is falling down. Why? Because you made everything about this man. And I don't think that's how God intended us to be, Man is definitely a big part of my life, but not my everything. You like, you 50-50, you know, you're not gonna be my everything. Yeah, so don't be waiting on, because I know it's easier said than done, but don't be waiting. I don't even want y'all to get offended by this, because I know somebody gonna come for me, but do not be waiting your whole entire life for a man, because a lot of people are, y'all. I'm putting this stuff up, I'm grabbing my makeup, but yeah, a lot of people are literally like waiting for a man to pursue their passion. They're waiting for a man to complement their life. Like, baby, you got to go out and do that by yourself. Another thing I would say is, hold on. Oh, I got the wrong bag in here, y'all. Let me grab my makeup. I don't even know what I want to do, because I'm not gonna lie, this gives like no makeup look. I don't even want to do anything extra, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it just because, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna jazz it up just for y'all. Let me see what I want to do. Do I want to do highlighter? I would say learning practical skills. Some people might say this is optional, but I feel like this is essential. As a woman, you should know how to cook, clean. You should just know how to do certain things. Don't wait on a man or to have a reason. Let a man, okay, when I get a man, I'm going to start cooking and doing. Baby, that's a practical skill. Do that for yourself. You should already know how to cook and clean and budget. I don't know. You should just know how to do that stuff before you find a man. You don't have to learn how to be a partner before you have a partner. Like, go ahead and learn how to do that stuff now. So I am going to do concealer, y'all. I'm going to do that. I have one more thing I want to say. Understand the role that you want to play. I feel like a lot of women, they look at the role of other people life and they think that's the role that they want to play. They're like, okay, I like the stay-at-home mom, the 9 to 5. I don't think that role is for everybody. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people, you see somebody on the internet doing a certain thing. You're like, oh, I want to have a traditional role. And then you're like, oh no, I want to have a modern role. Oh, I want to do what's best for you. But most importantly, know what you want before you get into that relationship. Like, I already knew what type of role, like before me and my fiance, before we made any step, I already knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted a blend for me personally, y'all. I like some things that traditional marriages have, but at the same time, I want to be a modern, I want to have some, aspects of a modern relationship. Like, I don't just cook and clean and do. No, if I ask my man to wash the dishes, he gonna wash the dishes. Why? Because we're not in a 1970 relationship. No, like, it's very much a blend around here. And I feel like it's important for women to know that before they get into a situation. Y'all be seeing other people's relationship. Y'all be like, oh, he pay all the bills. He do all this. Well, that's what I want for my... Is that really what you want for your life? Because you don't know what else is going on behind closed doors. So really just know what you want for your life. What is another thing that I'm currently doing? Those are like the biggest things that I'm currently doing, y'all. I know it's a few more that I'm doing. I would say to understand, when it comes to understanding the type of role that you want to have, I would say it is important to get insight from real people and not social media, because people will put everything on social media all day. Also, this is a little off topic, but people be asking me like, Asia, how are you able to do social media? Like, people be so judgy. So how are you able to do this? Once you realize that everybody's shit stinks, you care a little less about stuff, y'all. Like, I don't care about anything. I used to care about a lot of stuff. I used to care about a lot of things a lot of people used to say. But once I realized her shit stink, it may not stink in the same way my shit stink, but her shit stinks too. And then that when I realized that, that's when I started posting on social media a little more, y'all. Nobody is perfect. So don't get insight from people on social media, because people on social media, if you ask them, they're going to be like, oh yeah, get you a man that can pay all the bills, and you sit up and just breathe and just look pretty, and you don't do anything, and you don't add any value to a relationship. That's what they're going to tell you on social media. But speak to real people in real life that has been in marriage, that's been married for years, in healthy marriages, y'all. Because a lot of people, they married, but they not in healthy relationships. Like, I take advice from my mom, but I pick and choose certain aspects I love about her marriage. My mom's been married for over 20 years, but there are certain aspects that I'm like, okay, you know what? That's y'all. Me and mine, we gonna do ours a little different over here. And I decided that based on me knowing what type of wife that I wanted to be. And another thing, somebody asked me, what did they ask me? I think a few of y'all asked me what type of Oh, how did I know? Y'all was like, how did you know that you wanted to like be his wife? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This probably sounds so weird, but it became innate. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I had lived with a man before and been in a long-term relationship previously, and we kind of discussed marriage maybe like briefly. But with this one, it would be certain things that I knew I wanted to do. Like with my, I don't want to say which ex, but with one of my former mans, y'all, it would be like, I don't want to do this. Like you are doing certain things that a husband would do, like providing for me, but I actually don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to, like, I didn't want to do these things. I didn't want that to be my life. And I don't know if it was because of my age. I was younger at that time, so that could have had a lot to do with it. But I also do think I just knew then I wasn't ready. Like I just wasn't ready, because people think shit cute. They be like, oh, hold on. They be like, oh, I want to be a wife. I want to be a wife. They see the cute pictures and stuff online. They think they want to be a wife. But it's like, do you really want to be a wife? Have you really did the deeper work to be a wife? The last thing I would say, deep in your spirituality, that's something that helps me. I feel like when you believe in something that's bigger than you, it helps your life all over, y'all. I'm just a happier person when my relationship with God is like this. I've just become happier. Don't want to go deep into my spirituality on this video right here, but that is the eighth thing that I'm really striving, and I feel like that's gonna propel me to becoming the type of wife that I envision, because like I said, y'all, I envision this. But yeah, back to that other question. I'm sorry, y'all. I just be all over the place. But yeah, that's kind of, ooh, look at me making a mess of my face. Y'all wasn't gonna tell me? Y'all was not gonna tell me. But yeah, y'all, that's kind of how I realized he was the one, because I kind of just felt like something came over me. I'm like, I love everything I do for you, but I want to do this as your wife. Like we literally had that conversation, and he was like, damn, Asia, like you saying those words to me in that way literally changed everything. Like that's when, I don't know when, I don't we talked about it, but I don't think that's when he knew he wanted to marry me. But a lot of people, they get into relationships and marriages, they be like, oh, I love the way you do this for me. I love this. I love this. It's like, so you are in a relationship, or you want to get married to a man because you love the things that he do for you? Do you love doing the things that you do for him when you do it, or is it for his satisfaction? It was like I was doing things for him, and it was bringing me more satisfaction than him. He appreciated me cooking and cleaning and doing things for him and making his life easier, but it became to a point where I actually genuinely love doing this shit. I love cooking a meal for my man and looking at him like, I love that. When it became like, oh, like I love doing certain things for him, that's when it kind of embodied me, where I was just like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this as your wife. And I express that, y'all. A lot of women, they don't express things to men. And it's just like, y'all have to have conversations and express things. Of course, men gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day, but how you know you want to be a wife, if you haven't expressed it to him. Like I said, they do not read minds. You really have to talk to them and express certain things to them. I know people do, and sometimes it fall on deaf ears, but you got to move the way you got to move with that. Because I even expressed, like, before we even got deep into our relationship, the first time we've ever talked about marriage, I said, just from past experiences, I know I do not want to be a girlfriend for 3 years, because last time I did it for 3 years, and by that third year, I knew for a fact that this man was not going to be my husband, and I did not care to do certain things for him as a wife. Like, I wasn't ready to be a wife at that time. So I just knew. So I told him, from those past experiences, I know it's not going to take me longer than 3 years to know if I want to marry you or not. So I feel like it shouldn't take you that long. And I didn't give him like a ultimatum or anything. Like, the man was going to do what he was going to do what he had to do. But at the same time, I let it be known that I wasn't going to be waiting all day. Like, I told him, like, anything after 3 years, it's a bit much for me. So we only been dating for like two years and a couple months. He could have did it on the third year. He could have did it when he felt to do it. But at the same time, regardless of when he did it, when I felt like I was tired of being a girlfriend for a man that I wanted to be a husband for, I was gonna leave, y'all. Y'all be too scared to leave. That's another thing. I remind people, may think this is weird, but as a girlfriend, I don't have a problem reminding my man that my love is conditioned. People think that's so bad. Like, oh, Asia, you shouldn't say. No, baby, my love come with conditions. Because if you cheat on me, that was my non-negotiable. I know that I'm not going to be able to get past that. So if you cheat on me, baby, go ahead and put a date on it. Put a date on it, because I'm out. I'm out. I promise you that. You put your hands on me, peace out. I'm crip walking out. Like, that's my non-negotiable. So I would never ever say that I'm an unconditional lover. Like, I can love a man through certain things, but my love comes with terms. It comes with conditions, and I made that clear from day one. I was very intentional once we got to that point, because at the total beginning, y'all, I was still in my dating stage. I was still going out. I was still doing all the things, and I was, having a time. But when I got to that point where, okay, I can see this man as my husband, I set everything clear as hell. And women, the man is gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. People are always like, how do you find a husband? How do you do that? You don't have to do anything. If a man wants you, he knows that he wants you. But you can still be vocal about what you want also. Y'all, I need the rest of my makeup, and it's not in here. I don't want to talk y'all ears off, but this is what we're giving. It's very natural. I like it. I just need to put my mascara on, gloss my lips up. I love this lip. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. She is cute. I'm going to leave my hair like this. I'm about to go put on a fit. I feel like recording. I feel like going outside. Danessa, y'all see that tan, that glow? She that girl. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let me calm down. I love it, y'all. But yeah, this is pretty much some of the things that I'm doing to prepare to be a wife. Deepening my communication skills. I'm really getting to know myself. I'm learning how to be more feminine and bask in my femininity. Like, you can be comfortable here. You don't have to always try to lead things, Asia. Like, you could be soft here. This is a safe space. Looking and cleaning in finances. Like, I'm gonna just keep it at that because I do feel like a lot of people, relationships and marriages don't work because they decide to like leave everything up to the man. Like, they don't look into that. I have seen stories where bank accounts have been bankruptcy, houses have went into foreclosure because they don't know the ins and out of anything. They don't have any financial literacy. And I feel like as a wife, it's also my job to be nosy. I may not be writing the check, but I do want to understand and know what's going on in my household. I think that's very important. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If y'all want more girl chats, or if y'all want to give, because I do want to do a Q&A about just me, the girly stuff. I asked y'all about a Q&A. Half of the questions about that Negro, about that man. I'm asking y'all to ask me about me, and y'all ask me about that man. Like, that is a part of me now, but damn.